As you guys know, I love underrated progressive metal and rock bands, and I would like to know if you believe any of them have the potential to make a big impact on the worldwide prog scene. This is a great question, and it actually has a couple different answers. Let's start off by the way that I would define prog. A lot of people think prog is like what we said in the Porcupine Tree video. What real prog is sound that progresses the sound of an existing genre. Whether that's progressive metal, progressive rock, progressive jazz, EDM, timbali music, whatever. Whether that's a fusion or a totally new sound. Welcome to the Prog State of the Union, and welcome to episode 2 of Lounge, where we'll be responding to all our lovely comments throughout the week. We will pick one from the prior week to be the subject of the video, and of course we'll be reading all of them.
Thank you to Fabian for taking the time to really
take the time for theater.
Yes, to give us this huge list of potential bands that we could, know and love.
There was not a band on here, except for some of the screamo stuff, that I didn't enjoy. But here is the issue. To me, a good majority of these bands sound like a big orgy between Dream Theater, Opeth, and Haken. That kind of goes against the grain of what prog is to me. My favorite out of this list has to be Vola. They blend something new in there. They kind of blend a little bit of pop rock in there, specifically with their big airy hooks that we heard all over Witness that really pack a lot of punch. They blend that more mainstream pop metal sound, they blend that progressive sound, and they blend Daft Punk. That to me is prog. Bands like a Greta Van Fleet are to me like anti-prog, because not only are they not building upon a new sound, they're going like way back to the 70s to dig up an already existing sound and try to rehash it as something new. Not to say that, all these bands totally rip off any of the bands that we're talking about, but it's very much in that box.
The thing that made Rush and like Dream Theater so monumental is you have Rush, right? They take the 70s sound rock and roll and they put different time signatures and they put more musicality, they put harder arrangements. Then you have Dream Theater, who took stuff like Iron Maiden and Rush and put it together into this perfect union that people have never really heard before. And I know that's hard because when so many people have done these things before you, it's like, well, how do I reinvent this?
We talked last week a little bit about Mars Volta, but that to me is the pinnacle of prog. Yes, it's almost like offensive how crazy and chaotic it is, but that's something I've never heard before. The percussion on Francis the Mute was out of this world.
I'd probably say my favorite one on here, Chaos Divine, not just because
they were wearing the Maiden shirt.
Wears the Maiden shirt. My favorite one, this was probably Badge of Honor because of the tone.
To summarize, any of these bands have the potential to make an impact. My favorite was Vola. Your favorite was Chaos Divine. Also, let's not lose sight of the true definition of prog, because it's certainly not. I really love Virus, especially what's the Prosthetic. Gotta be my favorite song from Virus. Balls to the wall the entire time. But I love Haken, and I believe they're coming out with a new album soon. I forget the name of it right now. So we shot this before Nightingale came out, and I have to say I'm liking it so far. I really love how they gave the intro to Peter as kind of his reintroduction to the band, and I love the kind of jazz fusion influence that he's having on them as well. Stay tuned, we will have the review for that when it comes out. And of course the review for Closure Continuation, Porcupine Tree.
I'm excited to do more Porcupine Tree. Awesome. Isn't Alex Lifeson on Blank Planet?
Yeah, he has a solo on there.
So it's an actual solo and not construction yard sounds. I
loved to see on Reddit the Rush fans trying so hard to say nice things about that. Oh, it's not my thing, but there's this part and that part. No, it's bullshit. I didn't listen to the full thing, but the second single was better than the first one they released, whatever it was called, Liar or something like that.
I didn't even hear Alex in the studio.
Yeah, it's not because he played guitar. He actually got credit for the excavator he was operating.
Honestly, if anybody has like a take on that album besides just trying to be a friendly Rush fan, I would love to see a comment on like why you genuinely think it's good or why you think
because they're gonna be, you guys are fucking assholes. That was the best album I've ever heard, and it was art.
Yeah, well, I'm interested. I really want people to come out of the show and be like, all right, listen, like, I was just being nice because it's Rush, but
I give them credit at least for not wanting to do Rush, because I think that's what everyone wants to hear. It's kind of like where we are with people asking for Rush 7 million times and like Dream Theater all the time. We love that stuff, but for sanity's sake, we also need to do some other stuff as well. But plenty of Dream Theater and Rush on the way. So I think that's where poor Alex is right now.
Yeah, I mean, he did the same thing for 40 years, so I don't blame him.
Oh, did you see that interview that guy did with Rush?
No, I haven't gotten around to it.
We're not going to sit here and react to it for 40 minutes, but definitely advise you to check that one out. Look, we love Rush and Dream Theater as much as the next guy. Those are my two favorite bands. But we also need to be able to diversify our videography as much as possible, because that's what makes it possible for us to do these kinds of things. We specialize in Dream Theater and Rush and a little bit of Maiden Maiden too. We need to throw in a mumble rap every once in a while because we need to hear some garbage because, you know, like the great philosopher Butthead said, if you don't know what sucks, how do you know what kicks ass?
If nothing sucked and like everything was cool all the time, then it's like, how would you know it was cool?
That is words to live by.
Probably by the time we post this, we'll have over 600 subscribers now. Not every single one of them are Dream Theater and Rush fans.
I like how his profile picture is Somewhere in Time. We should do a re-review of that because we didn't really review the whole thing.
Yeah, we kind of skimmed over it. Definitely re-review of Somewhere in Time. Stay tuned for that. But we have plenty of Rush content on the way, along with a review of every single studio album they've ever released, and more after that as well. You know what? That's fair. I think we didn't give Poppy a chance last time. We should give her a second chance. Maybe you'll like this one, right?
Okay, yeah. You know what?
Yeah. Okay, full disclosure, I've heard this before.
But damn it.
Who knows? Maybe you'll like it.
Sounds like they have a sponge in the radio. Is that Adam Jones?
Oh, here it is, yeah.
She's just blowing out the microphone. That's good. Yeah.
I know you're liking this, yeah.
This is my favorite part. Anthony Fantano reaction.
He gave this like a 8 or something like that.
Jesus Christ, he's such a... I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
I actually did listen to Pineapple Thief, and they're actually pretty good. So Mark Zucker, you're onto something, Mark Zuckerberg. Did people actually like our Minecraft review? It's actually getting some traction after a while. Like, that was the shittiest produced video we've ever come out with. Not only did we have phone audio, but like the light was like right next to my lens for some reason, so I looked like a ghost the entire time. Oh yeah, fun fact, we had to record that twice. Yeah, if there's enough demand for volume beta. That one's a little bit more complex too. It's a little bit more in-depth, a little bit more proggy.
That TikTok I was singing, that David Lee Roth singing, was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
That was awesome, right?
Like,
so maybe Gene Simmons had a point. Even in 2015, they did that live with Jimmy Fallon or whatever, and he would sing like maybe 20% of the song, and the rest of it he was like swinging nunchucks and breaking his nose. What do you guys think about the future of prog? What does prog mean to you? And we will see you next week.